right, we're switching gears here. If you have a child at home, chances are you want what's best for them. But what happens when your parenting style is different than your partner's?
Well, that's a big question, and the most common question that parents ask you, of course. Parenting expert and coach Rachael Fritz is here, and you're going to give us some common ways to navigate that and make sure there's some amicable conversations in the household. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
This is the biggest question that you get from folks. Why is that?
Yes, it is the biggest question, and that's because parenting is a team sport. And so if we're operating from different playbooks, then it's going to lead to conflict, frustration, and then some confusion for kids.
Absolutely. And so what does the research say about this? Like, do the kids respond to different parenting styles? Is it confusing for them? Like, how do they, what's best for them?
So parents don't have to be the same parent, right? So having different strengths can be advantageous, back to that sports analogy there. But what does need to be present is collaboration and a shared goal. So, working together, and the research says that when kids grow up in homes and environments where they have that secure attachment, they'll do the best in life, but there's not one perfect script for that.
How early should people be having these conversations, especially to see whether or not they're aligned, and then kind of talk through making sure that they can be on somewhat the same page?
Absolutely. So parenting changes us, right? And so when parenting starts to feel hard and we start to have those tough moments, it's really important for parents to do a few things, partners to do a few things. First, I recommend look at your own childhood. How were you raised? Sometimes, whether those memories, conscious or unconscious, they're playing out in the way that you're parenting your own children. And then once you do that reflection, share that with your partner so they get you and they can support you and have that understanding. The second thing I recommend is that partners talk about their shared values. When parenting gets hard, we need to take a step back and look at those values, because those values are going to determine the boundaries within our home. Boundaries uphold our values. And then finally, be authentic. Kids need parents who are reflective, who are joyful, who are their authentic selves, more than they need a perfect parent at home.
Absolutely.
And conflict is inevitable. So how do you help parents navigate despite?
Yeah, it's part of life. I recommend that, similar to how we would pause or take a beat before reacting to our children, do the same thing in your relationships. It's okay to have conflict. It's okay to model conflict, but then you also want to model the repair after.
So if a parent is having a conflict in front of a child, when do you table that for behind closed doors, and when do you say, okay, we're going to do this in front of them?
Right. Well, if you're feeling a little elevated, a little heated, I always say take the time to do it later on. You could have a little code word with your partner or something that's like, we're going to talk about this later when the kids go to bed. And kind of cooler, more calm heads can prevail in that moment. But if it's something you need to hash out in front of the family, like I said, respectful language, do it in a way that's collaborative. It's okay to disagree, but we want to make sure that we're not being disrespectful to one another, and that we're modeling how we move past that disagreement and come to collaboration.
I feel like those tips are good for any kind of conflict.
Absolutely.
Before we go, where can we find you online?
Yes, so parentingonmars.com or on Instagram at parentingonmars.
I love this. Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and we know that you guys were all going to be better at conflict.
We're all going to need this.